Hello everyone, Nancy here with a Joyful Cottage. I've got 4 spring flips to share with you today, so let's get started. I'm not sure if you would call this a tray or a riser. I've had it for a couple of years. I bought it at the thrift store for $3.99, maybe even got it at half price. I'm not really sure, it's been a while. And yes, I do keep my tags on my thrift items sometimes just to remind me what I paid for things. So I'm going to give this a makeover, and I'm going to use some spray paint to give it a nice coat of moss green front and back. And that was it for this project. I found this dish drying rack at a thrift store recently for half price. It was $5.49 and I got it for $2.75. And I've been looking for one of these for a while, not to dry dishes, but to display my vintage dishes that I have. I just wanted some place where I could put them out and enjoy them and see them. So anyway, I found this and it's in pretty good shape. It had one divider piece that was loose, and fortunately the nail was still there, so I was able to just bend that back into place and then take my tack hammer and nail it back down. I wanted to make this rack look less modern, so I took some Waverly dark antique wax and went over the entire piece to darken it up and make it look more vintage. And I think it did a pretty good job. Here's how it looks with my dishes. This next project is really fun and easy to do. I have a plastic hand soap dispenser in my kitchen, and I wanted to dress it up for spring, make it look a little more elegant than just a clear plastic bottle. So I had these napkins that I had picked up at a local shop, and I love the bunny on it. I love the artwork. I think the colors are really classy. And so I wanted to use this to do some decoupage on this bottle. And I just kind of picked out a napkin and worked with the different angles to see what would look good on the bottle. I decided I wanted to keep the flowers mostly at the top of the bottle and the bunnies at the bottom. And so I just cut up the napkin to use that way. I'm applying quite a bit of Mod Podge to the back of the napkin and then a small amount on the bottle itself and then applying it. I did have some tearing on this first piece, but that doesn't bother me. I can just pull that off, and when I continue to apply this tissue, it's going to be in layers. I'm not trying to match anything up, so it's going to work out just fine, and in the end you'll see. Once I have the napkin applied to the bottle, I go over it with crumpled plastic wrap, and that seems to really help get the wrinkles out and not tear the paper. And here's the finished dispenser. For my final project, I'm starting with this stainless steel charger that I found at the thrift store. It is not of high value, and I'm going to paint it because I have in mind to do a French country plate in the kitchen, and I wanted something that I could decoupage a print onto, and I've got one picked out, which you'll see in a moment. So I'm starting with one coat of paint. This is chiffon cream, Rust-Oleum chalk paint, and I'm going to end up giving it 2 coats. While the paint was drying, I went online and found a print on Etsy that I liked, and I downloaded that and printed it on my printer. It was only a couple of dollars. It was very inexpensive, and it printed off great. And now I'm just using a plate that fits into the charger. I'm using that as a template to trace around the print to get it the size I need for the center of the charger that I've painted. And once again, I'm using Mod Podge to adhere the print to my plate. Now here's where my vision kind of fell apart, but I'm going to go ahead and go through it and then show you what I ended up doing in the end that I think turned the whole thing around and made it turn out great. So here I'm just doing some dry brushing in the Waverly chalk paint color Celery, because I thought I wanted to kind of tie this in with my other spring projects that I did for the kitchen. So yeah, I was dry brushing this, and anyway, you'll see where it goes, but I just didn't like the way it turned out, and you'll see why at the end. So I've been watching some other YouTube crafters do a technique with Mod Podge where they make a print that they have look like an oil painting by applying Mod Podge to where the brush strokes might be on the painting. So I'm trying that here just to see if I can make that work. And I end up giving it 2 coats, which is recommended. And I don't know. I mean, I think it turned out okay, but I don't know. You tell me what you think. So I didn't like the green at all. I did not like that look. I thought it was very flat. I didn't want to finish the project with that way, so I thought about some other technique that I could use around the plate to give it more of a French country look, a vintage look. And I remember that I had this bunny that I bought last year, and I love the texture on it and the way it looks with the kind of the terracotta with the paint over it. So I wanted to see if I could recreate that look with this plate. So I sanded off a lot of the paint that I put on the plate, and then I went back in with some apple barrel acrylic paint in chestnut, which I thought was very close to terracotta, and I gave the plate a coat of that. And then I mixed up some Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster with baking soda. I just kept mixing in baking soda with the paint until I got the thickness I wanted. And I wanted texture to add to the plate, so I just kept at it until it looked right, and then I stopped. And I'm just applying that paint with a pouncing motion, kind of randomly, letting some of the terracotta show through, not covering it completely. I want it to look like it's just kind of aged naturally. I just love the way this plate turned out. I'm so glad I didn't give up on it. It's really so much better than I even imagined. I hope you got some inspiration from the projects I shared today. They were really pretty easy overall to accomplish and not expensive. That last one with the French country plate was a little bit of a challenge, but that was because I really wasn't going in the direction that I had originally thought. And like I've told you before, sometimes a project tells you what it wants to be, so you just kind of go along with it. I hope you'll share with me in the comments which one was your favorite of the 4 projects. Definitely mine is the plate. I wanted to share a proverb with you. This is 15:1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. And how true that is. You know, when we disagree, and we disagree softly and answer in a soft manner, not in a harsh manner, we get so much farther with someone than we would if we were harsh with them. And that can be with our own family, or with people that we meet, or people that we work with. And I just try to remember that, because it's easy to get upset and want our own way. But if we just take a deep breath, listen to what the other person is saying, and answer in a way that is respectful and gentle, we get so much farther. So I hope you are having a great week. I hope that your Easter was awesome. I know mine was very quiet. I enjoyed my church service and just coming home and spending time with the Lord and just enjoying the day. So I'm working on some spring cleaning, and I'll be doing a home tour soon. I'm also going to be working on some outdoor projects. So stay tuned, more to come. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will, so you don't miss any of the videos that I upload. Have a great weekend. See you soon.